Welcome to the Business Spotlight podcast. My name is Kay Cote, and I'm your host on today's episode. And today on the show, I have Stephan Candelmo, founder and CEO of Parallax, as my guest. We're going to be learning about his business, his journey to business ownership, best practices he's learned along the way, and challenges that he's faced to give you that inside look to what it's like to own and operate a business. Welcome, Stephan. So great to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Great to meet you, Kay. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course. Well, before we dive into all things business, I'd love to learn a little bit about you. So, take us back as far as you want. Share a bit about yourself.
Wow, going back. So, how would I go back about myself? Originally from Pennsylvania, went to University of Maryland, studied politics, got into politics for a little while, but then decided to go to law school and with always an interest in business, became a corporate lawyer. Really became a corporate lawyer for the last 29 years. And then along those ways, I was representing startups and investors, particularly in the technology area. And I had some great opportunities to be a co-founder in a number of tech startups. And the last one that I did was actually in the AI space, what we used to call machine learning about 10 years ago. And we had some really interesting wins, which was great. But I always promised myself that if I had another opportunity, I'd actually apply that technology to the practice of law and combining what I really understand and know with my passion of technology to really hopefully make a difference with small business owners and startups. So, it's an interesting journey of going from the political side to law to business and now more of business owner, which has been really helpful because I can certainly empathize now with all my clients in terms of at times the challenges that they all face. So.
Well, thank you for sharing a bit of, the things that you've done in your career so far. And I'm very curious, what was that? Was there like an aha moment? When did you decide to go from corporate law to starting your own business?
Yeah, well, before Parallax, I was a co-founder in a couple companies, so I've always had that, um, I guess that other side of me in terms of being an entrepreneur. And I think once you get the entrepreneurial bug, I think it just never goes away. You're always just looking for that next opportunity. And my aha moment was really this, continuing development in AI. And in November of 22, when ChatGPT was released, I obviously created an account because I was following what was happening in that space with my prior experience. But I decided to actually get an API account and actually develop a side project, and I called it Parallax. Paralegal, but instead of legal, Lex, to see if people would actually use this technology to get some of their legal questions answered. And that was really the beginning of it. And then it really morphed into, well, it's just not about answers. What if actually could provide true legal services and how would that actually happen and what would that look like? And the big aha moment was a pretty well-known story. I was in the gym. I was, doing a workout, and for something happened where I was just said, "Oh, I know how to do it. I know how to do this. I know how to actually deliver legal services through AI, not an AI tool for lawyers, but an actual company that could actually combine AI in terms of its power and efficiency along with the expertise of real attorneys." So I was just so inspired. I rushed into this workout room. It's like a CrossFit room, and had a whiteboard just like this, and they had like the current WOD written up there, but I knew that it was done for the day, so I wiped it down and I just started mapping out and drawing what this is. It was almost just this moment of inspiration, and I just stepped back and said, "Oh, that's how I would do this." I took a picture of it and I sent it to a previous investor that had worked with me before. And he was very interested in what I was doing. And I just said, I think I figured it out. And he goes, what? I said, I actually know how to deliver legal services with AI. And he's like, this is fantastic. Let's talk. And that was the big aha moment. So, yeah.
Oh, that is so cool because I always feel like some of my best ideas come in motion. Like
Yeah.
movement does something. So it's just like whether it's like the endorphins or whatever it is, that's such a cool story. I love that.
Yeah. And I still have the picture on my phone. And I think someday I'll probably get it framed or something, just because it was truly a download that just happened. I'm like, I gotta just have to get this out, like, and just started drawing and writing and all these boxes and arrows and notes and annotations, and it was pretty crazy.
I love a good download for sure.
Yeah, right, right. That's right. That's right.
Very real, very real.
They are. They are. They are.
Oh, well, that's incredible. So now I want to dive in a little deeper about Parallax. So you're currently serving businesses with,
Yes.
so you're B2B. So what kind of businesses are you serving? Like, is there a certain type of business? Like, who would be your MVP or who would be your ideal customer client?
Yeah. So really, our ideal customer profile really is any small business that's less than 20 people. That includes startups, which at times can be a little bit more difficult just because even though they need legal, they don't have the money for legal, right?
Mhm.
But small businesses, the whole gamut, industry agnostic, is something that we have really seemed to be getting some traction on. And a particular focus of ours is franchise owners, franchisees,
Mhm.
franchisees who are purchasing franchises, franchisees who are operating them, and also franchisees who ultimately sell them, right? And then other verticals are going to be coming on, but we're initially focusing in terms of some of our go-to-market. We've got about 60 customers now, which is great, but I'm trying to figure out to deliver something more predictable, and I think vertical by vertical is probably going to be our approach of how we're doing it. And franchisees, given my experience in that area as a lawyer, it seems like it's a very natural fit because it's a small business. It experiences traditional legal support needs, just like any small business. But
Mhm.
it's some interesting things that happen in terms of buying a franchise and also selling it, and then the traditional stuff that goes on in between, like your regular contracts, employees, and so forth. So we're excited about getting into that space.
Oh, very cool. Well, I'm excited for you. That sounds incredible what you're building too, especially for helping startups and helping businesses
Yes,
that are just like getting going who, yeah, need a lot of that support to build the
right,
foundation, but maybe
right,
are nervous or don't feel they have the capital to do so. So that's really cool.
right. Yes, thank you.
hmm And now, as you're building out, what does your current ownership structure look like for your company? Are there other investors, partners, anything like that involved?
Yeah, so we are, I'm the primary owner. However, we were able to, once I had this download I was describing to you, we have a number of different outside investors that we raised a very small, pretty small round, but led by a venture fund called Fortified Ventures in the Washington, D.C. area. So they focus on pre-seed and seed investments. And the managing partner was the one that I actually sent that photo to. So
Oh, that's a great way to connect. That's super cool.
yeah, yeah, yes,
Oh, I love that. Okay, so
yeah,
then let's talk about your team. Is there like
yeah.
what's your current team look like? How many team members do you have?
Yeah, so we have just a small team, about 4 people. Going to be probably bringing on a fifth pretty soon. It really comprises of traditional roles in terms of development, marketing, contract specialist because we're in the legal space.
Mhm.
Um, but One of the things that we have been really discovering and investigating, I'm not sure how much you're seeing other business owners, but you know, I'm using AI for legal, but AI is able to be doing a lot of different things, and we're experimenting, actually starting to create different agents for different functions and roles. So we recently built a marketing agent that's able to analyze what is happening with our campaigns, make recommendations, actually execute on those campaigns. And I think if we're able to do that successfully, I think we can then start moving it into other spaces, which is fantastic because, you know, I think you've all heard of the so-called crazy prediction of that there could be this very successful company which has one founder and one human employee, right? But I think that is possible with some of the things that we've been seeing and some of the things we've been experimenting with. So it's such an early part of the game. So
Oh, very cool. I know the power of AI, I think, and the right usage and context and the like can be such a beneficial thing to companies, especially when it comes to just like marketing. That's a huge thing. So
yeah,
yeah, that like leads perfectly into like what are you doing for marketing right now to get the word out about your business?
Yeah, so we utilize a couple different channels, whether it's direct sales outreach, email marketing campaigns, social media. This is the traditional channels. However, what I'm finding is partnerships are really critical for us, for our business. And that is partnerships where we can, you know, uh, really leverage one to many, right? So partnerships with banks that cater to small businesses, universities that are actually cultivating startups and technology that is looking for legal assistance for those companies, as well as other software platforms that cater to small business owners. And we are a complement partner, a perk, if you will, to be able to help service those customers if they so choose.
And that's another good point. Like that's a really a golden nugget for anybody listening or watching this is, to build those really healthy relationships with
Yeah.
partners is such a massive opportunity for everyone to grow. And then also you're not in the game alone. You have these strategic partners built out that can really be beneficial.
Yeah, I think the key of partnerships, especially for a young company, is that I think we as humans we cannot avoid that there is always an element of trust. Now, particularly in the legal space, trust is everything, right? You have to trust your lawyer. But am I going to trust this service? Am I going to trust this brand? Especially when it's facing a cold start issue, right? How do you just create a brand of reputation out of nothing? Um, and I think by partnerships, you almost get that indirect type of reputational trust. If the partner is trusting you to present to their customers, you are able to be a beneficiary of that. And I think that's a key component for young businesses to try to start to get traction. Because if you can attract partners, you can likely attract customers, right? Doing onesies, twosies, it's just too
Mm,
hard to acquire customers that way, just because you have a cold start issue. Ultimately, these companies, they fail on a number of different reasons from my experience as an entrepreneur as well as an attorney. One is, usually there's internal problems like the founders or the co-founders just break up, it just doesn't work. Two, they never find product market fit for their product or their service, and then they run out of money. And then, or three, they never really figure out the distribution
mhm,
in terms of B2C, B2B, and that just spins cycles, which then spends time, which spends money, which then gets the balance in the bank account to zero, and that's when it's game over, right?
mm.
So if you can solve those three things, you have a greater likelihood of success. So
Yeah, definitely. That's huge. And that kind of leads me into because that's the challenges of owning a business. A lot of those things are challenging to business owners. So what is something you're currently challenged with within your business that you're working through as you grow?
I think, one of our challenges is just distribution, right? How do we, in terms of enable prospects to trust us?
Mm.
It's one thing to just trust a little tool on that's going to help you write your blog better. It's another thing to trust service that's going to possibly result in a legal obligation that you're going to sign up to, right? That's why we are different in the sense that we're not a legal tool. We're actually a AI powered law firm that utilizes AI combined with the expertise of real attorneys built right into the loop. So um, getting that awareness, which then also includes education, is probably one of our big challenges that we have to overcome.
And in what ways, besides the partnerships you mentioned, what ways are you tackling that currently?
Well, it's through referrals, asking our happy customers, hey, do you know of anyone that could benefit from our service? And hopefully rewarding them. I mean, that's a word of mouth. Another way, it's almost like using that referral as a partner, right? You are drafting off of their trust that they have with someone else. Like, well, if Mary thinks that Parallax is great, like I'm gonna try them out myself, right? So I think referrals is a big link that is going to be unlocking some things for us.
Definitely. That's a huge one. And when it comes to building your referral network or your contacts, your community, are you leveraging, like, what are you leveraging to kind of organize that? Any CRMs that you prefer, or is there anything you're kind of tapping into?
Um, I mean, other than in terms of our traditional CRM system, in terms of being able to be able to constantly be not constantly, but just be touching and communicating with our customers and our prospects. I think there is a community aspect to Parallax, but there's so many there's so many communities and so many communities of communities. It's almost a little bit overdone. So I think what we're trying to focus on is just how can we acquire customers at a predictable rate to ensure that they have an outstanding experience and outcomes that they're thrilled with. I think if we do those things, the referrals, the partnerships, everything else will take care of itself.
Mm. So like really tapping into the power of like consistency, but I'm thinking of another word right now, like just being like top of line with like deliverables and services.
Yeah. I mean, we have to wow our customer, right? 60% of all small businesses never work with an attorney. And the reasons why are pretty obvious, right? We're just too expensive. Times we're too slow. And it's also difficult to find someone that you can trust, right? So, we have to really wow them to say, one, you can trust us.
Hmm.
Two, we're going to give you a fixed price, which is going to be up to 80% less than working with a traditional lawyer. So there's full transparency, complete affordability, and predictability in terms of turnaround. So you combine all those things, it's potentially a recipe for a really great experience.
I love that. It's like you're kind of the luxury spa of
Oh, luxury spa. Yes. Yes. And you actually get some of your, gets a lifetime supply of lavender oil for
That's a great takeaway.
essential oils for your diffuser, right? That's part of Parallax. That's the Parallax promise, right?
I'm down
Contracts and
signing up.
diffuser oil, essential oils for your diffuser.
It's your gift with purchase.
Yes, absolutely.
Uh,
We're gonna keep you calm so you can sleep well at night. Full peace of
Honestly,
mind.
so many business owners could really use that for real.
Right? And I think I just came up with a great idea. I'm gonna make a mental note of that. Thank you.
Yes, it could be like soothing your lawyer, your soothing your law worries. We give you a complimentary lavender for your law.
One of my investors early on said your tagline should be "Love your lawyer again."
That's good.
What do you think?
I like it.
He's like, you should put that on shirts. I'm
You
like,
know,
okay.
you know who that resonates really well with is a lot like female founders. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of us out there,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
and we have that. What drives us is making sure we build the foundation of our business. Now, I can't speak for all women, but that's just like where that would be attractive to me as a female founder to make sure I'm putting the building blocks into place and it's an approachable way to do it. So, I mean,
I love it.
it's
Yeah.
it's something to
I mean,
me.
Matthew McConaughey is going to be one of our sponsors, right? All
Perfect.
right. All right. All right. Love your lawyer again.
Oh, this has been such a
That's
fun
good. That's
conversation.
good.
This has been so much fun. Before we kind of like wrap up with the episode, I'd love to go
Yeah.
into some rapid fire Q&A where I ask you four questions and you answer top of mind.
Okay. You got it. Let's do it.
All right. Question number one is what is a key to success for you?
Trusting myself,
That's a good one.
trusting my decisions, trusting my intuition, trusting my instincts, not trying to avoid analysis, over analysis too much in my head.
A big one. That's a big
Yeah.
one for business owners. Second one is what is a piece of advice you have for other business owners?
Um, be persistent. Takes time. There's no overnight successes. You know, deliver, deliver with service and be persistent.
That's
Yeah.
big.
Be of service. Because I think once you're a be of service, that mindset is you're not selling anymore. You're helping, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's true. I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Number three is it could be a book, a podcast, an article, just something that resonated with you recently.
Well, I'm reading Key is Stillness by Ryan Holiday right now, which is just very meaningful to me in terms of in terms of just being in the present. I think when I'm distracted too much with all the other things going around, probably my decision making is not as sound. So, try to be present. So
That's a,
that's been a good book.
yeah, I'm gonna put that on my read list.
Yeah.
And the final question in our rapid fire is if you had a magic wand and you could rapidly improve one aspect of your business, what would it be?
I think I probably mentioned it, just predictable client acquisition. Yeah,
Mhm.
because once we're able to figure that out, we can then just really focus on delivering great outcomes for our client. When you're having to worry about, how can we get predictable sales, predictable growth, then you're trying to then react to that up and down in terms of delivery, just to be able to focus on delivery. Once you have that flywheel going, I think that would be my magic wand wish.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a good one because that is the one that business owners like myself
Yeah,
included just kind
I
of
know how to be a great lawyer.
yeah.
I'm not, I just don't know how to be a great acquirer of customers,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm,
So yeah,
powerful. Well, oh my gosh, this has been such a great conversation. Before we get into our final
awesome.
question,
Oh,
well, let's start helping you out now. How can people connect with you and your business online?
oh, sure. So any small business owner, startups, particularly, whether you're a franchise owner, you can just go visit us at www.parallax.ai. You can sign up. It's pay as you go, or you can sign up for a subscription plan. We'll get you started right away in terms of whatever your needs are. And we can help you with anything that you're looking for in connection with your business, whether it's drafting agreements, reviewing agreements, advising you, as well as quick verified questions are answered by actual attorneys
Hmm.
for less than a meal at McDonald's. So we're here to help. So check us out.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing that, Stefan. Now, for our final question
Yes.
today, what is most inspiring to you today?
You know, I think it's not just about Parallax, but it's also something I recently experienced this past summer. I was able to go back to Korea and rediscover some of my Korean history and my mother's history. I'm half Korean, um, and I was grateful enough where I actually could write about it. And this literary magazine decided to publish the article, and it certainly moved people in terms of the story that I told and the things I discovered, not just about my mom, but more about myself. And what's inspiring to me, probably right now, is that even with this business, with Parallax or anyone's business, it's stories that connect us. It's stories that move us. Everyone has their story, right?
Hmm.
Just like my mother had her story of coming to America, that business owner, he or she has that story of starting their own business and the reasons why, and how do you connect to that story? How can you be a part of that? And that's inspiring to me, just because it's just not about numbers and it's just not about sales or revenue or anything. It's about helping someone with their story,
Hmm.
and so that's been a little bit something that's been top of mind.
Oh, absolutely love that. And that's very inspiring too, because that's exactly what we do here on the Business Spotlight. We love to share stories. So thank you for
Yes.
sharing yours with me today.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Really enjoyed it.